Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, and entertainment, when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have an interesting episode for you guys. You definitely want to stick around for, so make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now, this is actually a topic that that we've been wanting to cover now for quite some time, but because of scheduling and some of the other news that's been coming out, we just thought that there were more interesting things to talk about. But this was something that I definitely wanted to get to. Now, as all of you are fully aware, ESPN is the biggest sports media company in the United States, right? They're the biggest boy on the block, and they make billions of dollars in a myriad of ways, right? They make money through TV deals, right? Paying the NBA and these guys, to have rights to show their games. And of course, they make their money on advertising. So you have that. They also make money on their website, right? On ESPN.com. And in the last 3 months, I checked this on SimilarWeb, they brought in, think about this, an average of 450 million visitors per month over the last 4 months. That's 500 million people hitting their website. And of course, they also make money through the ESPN, subscription-based service that they have. ESPN Plus. So ESPN is a money-making machine. And therefore, one would assume, you would automatically assume that, things are just all in well, right? Things are just, perfect for them. But according to a recent article from Outkick.com, things seem to be trending in the wrong direction for the worldwide leader in sports. And essentially, that's what I want to cover. That's what we really want to get into and really give our thoughts and as to why we believe that this could possibly be happening. But before we get into that, this video is brought to you by our sponsor, Aura, who's also the sponsor of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards, only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts, and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds, someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura, by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So let me just go ahead and get into this article and tell you guys, and let's read what it has to say. So it starts off with the headline. ESPN lost 8 million subscribers in 2021, 10% of its overall subscriber base. The article continues on. Last year, ESPN lost 8 million cable and satellite subscribers, finishing 2021 around 75 million total subscribers. That 8 million subscriber loss, an average of nearly 22,000 people per day, represented 10% of ESPN's overall subscriber base, and accelerated calamitous decline from over 100 million subscribers just over a decade. That loss of 8 million subscribers will cost the network roughly $1 billion a year in recurring revenue across all ESPN network properties. The number, which was released by the company itself just before Thanksgiving in late November last year, escaped major media attention despite representing the largest yearly subscriber loss in ESPN history. I flagged it back then to write about it, but waited until now because I was intrigued to compare the interplay between ESPN linear cable channel and ESPN Plus streaming service it also had launched, which ESPN is claiming will save the company. I'll get to the new streaming service in a moment, but I've written about ESPN's major cord-cutting issues for years. In fact, back in 2016, I forecast that ESPN would finish 2021 with 75 million subscribers. And then the article continues on by further saying, first, let's start with ESPN's basic business. ESPN charges every ESPN subscriber around $10 a month in 2022 for a cable and satellite subscription across all ESPN cable properties, with the lion's share of that cost coming from ESPN itself. That $10 a month multiplied by 12 means each and every single one of you reading this right now who has ESPN subscription is paying the company roughly $120 a year. ESPN also gets money from ESPN2, ESPNU, and SEC Network. Question is, why could this be happening? Right, based on everything I just said, they're the biggest, they're the biggest guys on the block, right? So why is this? What could be driving this, right? Which brings up a myriad of questions that we can ask. I think there are a few reasons for this, right? I think the first reason is mixed signals, right? That's the first reason. The company could be sending confusing signals to its audience. Remember, ESPN calls itself a worldwide leader in sports, right? Not a worldwide leader in sports and news. It just says sports. So essentially, I think the majority of the people that tune in to, ESPN and patronize their products, I think they tune in for that reason. But over the last few years now, ESPN has become quite political. I don't think this is even up for discussion. And maybe a good amount of their subscriber base probably got turned off by some of their political leanings, right? And signaling that they've been doing. And maybe some people just decided that, you know what, I don't want to partake. I don't want to continue giving my money to this company, right? And that could be a real thing. And as I said before, politics is extremely polarizing. Extremely polarizing. And the two most polarizing, subject matters out there is politics and religion, right? And it's one of the reasons we here on our channel, we do not cover politics whatsoever, right? The first reason is because I can't stand politics. I really cannot stand politics whatsoever. So there's no reason there would be no good reason for me to sit up here and start talking about politics when I hate it, right? That's the first reason. And the second reason, the minute you start talking about politics, it brings in a totally different element into the room, and that's just I don't see how that benefits us in any way, shape, or form. So we just avoid it altogether. But there's some people out there that like a mixture of politics and sports, right? There are people out there that love that. We try to steer clear of that, but that's just our decision, and to each his own. So that could be one of the reasons. Another reason that I think we need to explore could be due to some of their on-air personalities, right? ESPN is now being known, it's starting to become known for having personalities that constantly say things for shock value, right? I give you two recent examples. Bobby Marks. Bobby Marks works for ESPN, and about a week or so ago, I don't know what possessed him, but he came out and said that he now all of a sudden ranks Stephen Curry as the second greatest player of all time. When you say something like that, you know that you're going to irritate a lot of people, but it's going to stir up a lot of conversation, but I think in the wrong way, right? You're irking a lot of people when you say something like that. Another example of this is Kendrick Perkins. Kendrick Perkins just came out recently, a few days ago, and just said that, he has Stephen Curry as the fourth greatest player of all time, right? These are things that are going to irk people. And after a while, people are going to get turned off and they're going to stop listening. And I think finally, another reason could be the advent of independent media, right? People are not really paying attention to this. I think they are, those guys are, but independent media is a real factor here, right? It's a real factor. The fact of the matter is this, people no longer are forced to get their sports fix from one or two sources. They don't have to be relegated to get in their sports from ESPN or FS1 or maybe ABC or whatever it is. Now, with the advent of with these independent media companies on YouTube, people can go on YouTube and watch all of the sports content that they want from some of their favorite, people covering sports for free. They don't have to pay any subscription. They don't have to pay for any live streaming service. When that guy or girl decides to go live on their channel, it is free. Right? It is absolutely free, and they can actually engage with them. You can't watch TV and actually give feedback to, the things that you're seeing on TV, right? So I think that really plays a real role. And there are a lot of people on YouTube that are doing really well, right? And I think there are a lot of these guys in aggregate that are actually probably poaching some of their subscribers and viewers. You would not believe it, but it's true. There are guys on YouTube covering sports that get millions of views a month. Millions of views a month. There's some guys that get 4 or 5 million views every single month. Times that in a year, you get 5 million views a month. That's 60 million views a year, right? That's 60 million views that could have been given to that network. And especially because they're charging per viewer, that equates to millions of dollars. So as people start to migrate away from conventional traditional media, this is obviously going to have an effect over time. It may not be one particular independent creator. But when you put them together, the combined effect of that could be, it could be felt, especially if you're a big guy like ESPN. And for them to lose roughly 10% is massive. It is massive. That's a massive drop off in their subscription base. So I think this is quite surprising, right? Because one would think that the total opposite. And I think one of the reasons for this is because I don't believe these networks, these big companies, I don't think they really have a good feedback system, in my personal opinion. I think that one of the most brilliant things that ever existed, and it was a game changer, right, for Facebook, for YouTube, and all of these guys, was the comment section and the like button and the dislike button. That's what they don't really have on TV. You can watch a show and Nelson's ratings, they have other data points that they pick up, right? But they can't really measure the sentiment of the average viewer watching what they're watching. For example, if I say something that people disagree with, there are myriad of ways for people to give me feedback. Number one, they can decide not to watch. That's one thing, right? And if enough people do that on a consistent basis, your views will drop and you will understand that something is wrong, number one. Number two, people can either like or dislike the video. And YouTube has a way of measuring videos that constantly get disliked. That's number two. And number three, people have the ability to comment, right? So if you want to understand just how good a video is, don't just look at the likes versus, go actually look at the comments that people are leaving. It gives a good indication. But in the case of these guys, they're just looking at the views, but they don't really care what people are saying and what people actually think, right? I just think they assume that, well, people are watching, so therefore our content must be good, and that's not always the case. So it's quite surprising to hear, to hear these numbers via, according to Outkick.com. So really, the question to you guys is this: why do you think that's happening? What do you think is the cause for that 10% drop off in that subscription base? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.